Hello, YouTubers and people on the internet. This is, most of you who've been just waiting and waiting and waiting for me to do a TV discussions episode. This ain't it. Most of you are like, well, fuck, man. Just fuck. Well, this is something I want to do for quite a while. It's kind of I'm not funny as shit, but why not dip my toes in the pool, man? This is Life Sucks. Kind of a comedy thing. Now, most of the jokes, most of you might not get. Most of you might get it, not be pleased with it. Well, I don't give a shit. So, let's start off with the introduction of me, Grim7088, gamer. Now, over the last few years, I've done deck profiles and shit like that. But the only time I've done this is now. I know I'm rambling on like some moron on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of different things out there, like politics I can make fun of, shit like that. Religion, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. Actually, let's talk about the government a little bit. Now, everyone knows we have this giant ass fucking debt that I'm not really up to key with the government news shit, but it's like, the only time I heard about it was in high school. And it's like, if it's still growing, what the fuck are we doing to fix it? Really? Well, apparently they're not fucking fixing it because the US is kind of fucked up anyway, so why not have some fucked up bullshit to screw us over, put us in our graves? Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. Another thing is, I, as a resident, not just in the United States, but in Wyoming, mind you, I'm not gonna give precise location, but ever since Washington and Colorado, not federally but state, legalized marijuana, a lot of shit's been going down. Like, the neighboring states, we're gonna sue Colorado for bullshit. Yeah, it's not Colorado's fault that the other states aren't gonna address the issue of them going for their own shit. And mind you, I've tried as hard as I can to be all read up and whatnot with it, but I believe Wyoming Matt, whatever his name is, I don't care because I mind my own shit by not caring about politics. But Matt, whatever his name is, he wants to, instead of suing Colorado, he wants to do his own shit by saying, hey, government, we're ready for making sure we press our own fucking laws into this, not let's blame someone else for some bullshit. Fuck him. And that's one thing, though. It's like, it's a plant that grows on our earth. No one chemically made it in some warehouse or a basement. That's where all the other drugs were made. Somehow, by accident, in someone's kitchen or basement. Pot wasn't. No, no. It was literally made for shit. Look at our past. George Washington, Bill Franklin screwed that shit up badly. They fucking wore it. They made shit from it. And it's like, between when they used it till now, something fucking went wrong. They say drugs are bad. Yeah. Yeah. How long does it to grow weed? Maybe a few months. Yeah, that's not fucking hard at all. Just wait a few months and voila, you have weed. But apparently not, because, oh look, you grew weed. We arrest you and you're in jail for 10 years. But a guy possessing crack or whatever, oh, you spend 5 years. Why? Why the fuck does people who either grow marijuana or possess marijuana get a longer shit than any other drug? Mind you, I tried to prepare, but who knows? I don't give a shit. Now, that's one thing though. It's like, yeah, we're giving you 3 choices and penalties that can possibly go wrong for you. Spend 10 years in jail, a X amount of money fee, or both. How fun is that? Well, with this, just fuck it. Why not just federally and statewide just legalize marijuana, period? Because that is costing the each state a lot of money to do so, and taxes anyways. Well, with this, just legalize it. You'll make back that money anyways. Look at Colorado, they're making a shitload of marijuana anyways. And you wonder why parents have issue, because they're prudes. It's like, mind you, I'm not high, it's just I'm a good giggling ass. And it's like, I've personally, through life, never understood why people were so crude just against marijuana. I would understand on every other drug, because let's look at the shit that, well, a lot of them are made from stuff that we use today. That's one thing that irritates the shit out of me, though, after understanding. Why are we pissed off at drugs, including marijuana, if we can't protect ourselves from the drugs the government makes? Let's think about this. You say drugs are bad, and say no to drugs, but we take these drugs that from the government. Yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense. Think about it. Have a cold and want it to go away. Here's some medicine. Oh, and by the way, yeah, you'll probably have some other shit, but it'll make that cold go away. Or whatever you have. Side effects are diarrhea, loss of consciousness, can't drive. Yeah. It's like, if these are supposed to help us, why the fuck is there a lot more pain in the ass than they should? Like, oh, you want to get rid of your cold? Take this. By the way, you can operate machinery, drive, or other shit. Along that, you can't take with booze. I fucking wonder why. They're both drugs. It's like, We had booze legal, then illegal for years, back when they did that. I can't remember when, but then they re-legalized it. Mind you, let's compare it really quick. With marijuana, oh, it's been illegal for over several hundred years, ever since the U.S. was founded. Well, after, I can't remember when they made it illegal, but it's like, oh look, tobacco and booze are okay. Oh, we made booze illegal, and then, oh look, people are ignoring the law. You can't make booze, you can't serve booze, you can't drink booze, so yeah. It's like, what about you guys? Should we re-legalize booze? Everyone in favor say aye. Everyone says aye. Aye. And they legalize booze. Well, let's actually think about it. It's like, okay, we have bars that serve booze, and you can't drive, but people don't give a fuck. That's what accidents happen. Dumbasses who think, oh, I'm fine to drive, and then get into a wreck when they're drunk off their ass. Or speeding. Yeah. Compared to smoking while driving, yeah, that's not a distraction. And that, I'm talking about tobacco on that one because it's like, oh look, I'm smoking while driving, I don't give a shit. Or talking on the phone. Apparently today's society does not give a fuck. And when I mean today's society, I mean the way the U.S. does not give a shit on a lot of issues. One of the issues that I kind of see as a gamer really not going well, because gamers like me who are over 18 can actually buy numerous different games because we have money. Now, video games doesn't really matter on, well, kind of, but okay, at the time being, it doesn't really matter on the console, but the ratings. We have rated E for everyone to, like, rated M for mature. Now, I've categorized the subject in 3 different groups. For parents, because most people are like, well, what about the kids? Well, kids are at a certain age can play. Now, I've played a lot of Call of Duty, from Modern Warfare 3 to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I've met a lot of kids underaged playing these games. And that's group 3, or C in this case. Now, group A would be parents that bitch a lot and say video games aren't good for kids and shit, so they never purchased the system with the games for their kids. Group B would be the parents who are somewhat respectable by, yeah, they kind of fucked up, but try to make that up by buying them the correct age-rated games. Age. Because what parent wants to hear their kid say, can I get a gun? Can I get drugs? Or some shit like that. And so they buy their kid or teenager the correct aged games. Like, oh look, you're 10. Here's a rated E or rated E 10 plus for that reason. And then you have rated T for teens. Here. Yeah, there's going to probably some be like some very, very slight drug use or profanity in it. And then you have the rated M games for the mature audiences and whatnot. That's where the third group of parents come in. So these parents probably bought them consoles and like gave them a few games that were age appropriate, and then we just don't give it much of a fuck. So here's a rated M game that is way, way too mature for you, but we just don't give a fuck. In my eyes, it's like, I'm not a parent, but that is really bad parenting. It's like, you're teaching your kid, or not really teaching your kid, but you think, it won't do any harm. Yeah. But it's like, again, the A group, even if they don't have a TV or a game console, it's like they should really, all three groups have to consider that it doesn't really matter where they get all their shit. Just, look, they somehow bought drugs or a gun without their knowledge. Now, I know so far most of you are like, well, this fucking sucks, dick, I'm leaving. And the rest who actually stuck around, thank you, I know this sucks, dick. But I know I've been a bumbling dumbass all the way through this video and shit. Most you're like, what a dumbass. Now, there's a couple more things, one or two more things that I want to cover. Actually, one more. And it's TV. Now, there's a lot of different programmings out there. And some towards kids, some for adults. And you can do this on the internet and shit, so. But there's some people who question certain either cultured television that comes on, and either the parents or some people might be like, what the fuck's this shit? Because there's a lot of different channels. Cartoon Network, TBS, HBO, Show, Food Network, USA, all those channels. But there's like anime. Most parents are like, what the fuck's anime? Well, it's a Japan animation, which the US, there's kind of a difference when it comes to the animation. And for example, I've been watching anime since I was 8 or 9, give or take, because I grew up in the 90s, along with the cartoons that ran during the time period. One of the three different animes that I can remember watching: Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon. Now, there's a lot of different people saying, well, there's certain religious groups saying Pokemon's the work of the devil and shit. Well, fuck them. If they were, and that's their problem, not ours. Because they're a bunch of morons who think that they have an almighty God. Yeah, if the almighty God was real, he wouldn't have allowed this shit, along with a bunch of other shit. But guess what? Since he apparently does not have the power, and mind you, I might get a bunch of shit or get a notice from YouTube saying that this is really inappropriate. Well, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And mind you, yeah, I'm gonna cover YouTube in this video because they have people uploading episodes and movies on here and shit like that. And if any of you think I'm an asshole, go ahead, comment. I don't care. And I don't care if you say this sucks and I look like a dumbass. Go right for it. I don't give a fuck. And most of you are like, well, since you brought up the subject of drug, yeah, I'm backtracking a little bit. Have you ever smoked weed? Honestly, no. But I support whoever smokes weed, the full support. Because they decide to choose their lives as they want. So anyways, back to televised entertainment. See, from the time the US got all these awesome animes till now, there's been a lot of people saying animes for kids. Sure it is. Sure it is. Yeah. No, they're not. No, they're freaking not. I'm sorry, most of the shit's not PG or G in general. Maybe PG-13 and up. Most of it might be PG, but it's like, highly doubt they'll be PG our standards, but PG their standards. Japan's. And see, most of you are like, well, this guy's an asshole, he's anti-American. Well, I'm American, but just not giving a shit. Because I would rather go to Japan than live in a state, or in the US, that is kind of fucking itself hard. Plus, it's like, there's a lot of shit that a lot of different fandoms have made that aren't really kid-friendly. Because the bronies, they have a bunch of fan fiction. Mind you, I've tried to put as much of my knowledge into this video as I can. So, if you don't think this is useful, go eat a dick. And mind you, anything in your televised, I don't have any rights to them. Because YouTube gets all anal because they get bitched at by every network about their shows being put on YouTube. And a lot of people who do post these episodes or movies have to put in the copyright shit and whatnot, so, but I ain't gonna do that shit because I ain't showing any of their products and shit. And see, that's one thing, it's like, from a bunch of kid-friendly shows to, like, adult shows, they have a bunch of porn for them, too. Well, I'm just assuming, though, so... But I, for one, love watching TV, but in order to pay for it, I have to have a job and shit like that. So, gaming and video, or gaming and TV I have to pay for, because who else is going to pay for it? The government? Nah. Because if the government was going to pay for it, hell, I would be home all the fucking time. Or get a better job. So, and I'm not shitting, there's a bunch of movies that kids probably wouldn't understand from back when they were originally made. Like the Cheech and Chong movie series, including the animated movie, which I saw. Funny as hell. And I've seen Evil Bong 2, King Bong, and then Evil Bong 3, The Wrath of Alien Bong, or something like that. Then they, as of not last year, 2013, they made the Gingerbread Man versus Evil Bong. Now, and I watched that on YouTube, unfortunately, and I watched about 98% of it, and it's like, the storyline is kind of a mix of both Evil Bong series and the Gingerbread Man series. So if you've never seen those, either, and if you're a parent and you don't want your kid watching them, don't let them. Or, like, watch it with them and whatnot, and let them know when to, cover their eyes and shit like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and hope I have more for you in the future. This is Grim7088, and this is Live Sucks.